Neo's body stirred in the darkness of the bedroom, her forehead damp with sweat, her limbs tense as if caught in a silent struggle. The air was still, but inside her mind, a storm raged. Welcome back to Neo and Jiho Part 8. I'm curious, what lovely city are you tuning in from? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on anything new. Thanks for being here. She was standing by a riverbank in her dream, trembling barefoot on the edge. The night air was cold, and the moon shimmered on the water's surface like a sheet of glass. Across from her stood Minjun, not smiling, not soft. He was furious. He lunged forward. "No!" she screamed as Minjun shoved her with both hands. Her arms flailed, her body falling back toward the water's icy grip. "To me!" Neo shouted into the dream, her hand reaching out as the river swallowed her. Her own scream tore her awake. Gasping, disoriented, she sat bolt upright in bed, clutching the sheets, chest heaving with panic. Her skin glistened with cold sweat. Downstairs, Jiho had been awake since 2 a.m. The glow from his phone cast a soft light over his face as he leaned on the kitchen counter with a glass of water in hand. The headlines glared back at him. Yura's engagement to financial heir canceled. CEO Kang Jiho's surprise appearance with new woman steals the spotlight. And another. Black beauty at the gala? Who is Jiho's stunning companion? A sharp exhale left his lips. He wasn't the kind of man to revel in someone else's downfall, even Yura's. But still, what did she expect? Another ping. Jiho scrolled. Yura, please, Jiho. I need to speak with you. I'll come by in the morning, Yura. You owe me a moment, Jiho. Just one, Yura. Please don't do this to me. Unknown number. Likely her assistant. Yura will arrive by 9 hours. Please don't shut her out, Yura. If you still have a heart, you'll see me. Jiho blinked in disbelief and his expression hardened. He typed back one final message. Never write to me again. I've made my choice. Letting you work in my company was professional. But my private life is mine. Don't confuse the two. Block? He placed his phone down with an air of finality. He was about to return to his room when a piercing scream shattered the silence. He froze. Neo. He ran upstairs, pushing open her door. She was sitting up in bed, her face pale, soaked with sweat, trembling. Neo? Her eyes darted toward him, breath ragged. Jiho's heart clenched. He stepped inside, walked slowly to her bed, and sat on the edge. I had a nightmare, she whispered. Do you want to talk about it? She hesitated. Her hands clenched the bed sheets. I want to, but I need a little time, she finally said. My head is... I'm not sure how. Jiho didn't push. Okay, he said gently. You don't have to rush. I just want you to feel safe. And know I'm here. Something in his voice made her throat tighten. Her body ached with exhaustion and something deeper. Grief, maybe. Shame. But also relief. She didn't speak. She just nodded. Jiho got up. Come on, he said. Let me fix your blanket. He pulled the cover up around her shoulders and turned off the bedside lamp. Just as he was about to leave, he paused. I'll stay, he said quietly. Just for a bit. She didn't stop him. He pulled the chair closer to her bed and sat down. For the next few hours, he watched over her. Her breathing slowed. Her body finally relaxed. And as she slept, Jiho remained by her side, silently making a promise to himself. This woman is different, and I'm going to do this right. The next morning, sunlight streamed softly through the curtains of Neo's bedroom. She stirred beneath the sheets, blinking awake as the golden warmth of the sun kissed her skin. The events of the night before still lingered in her chest like the memory of a storm. She sat up slowly, and her eyes caught a folded note by the bedside. It was from Jiho. Meet me on the terrace for breakfast. The view is better with you in it. Jay. Neo couldn't help but smile, the corners of her lips tugging upward involuntarily. There was something delicate and reassuring in Jiho's words, something that calmed her shaken spirit. She took a deep breath, got out of bed, and padded softly to the bathroom for a shower. Before leaving the room, she reached for her phone and dialed her sister. Toomey picked up almost instantly, her voice warm and concerned. "I had a nightmare," Neo said quietly, "about Minjun. He tried to drown me in it. I woke up in such fear. Jiho came. He sat with me. He didn't leave." "Oh, Neo," Toomey breathed. "That's your spirit trying to heal. Maybe it's time you stop running from it. Tell him the truth. Don't build your new life on fear. Speak before silence speaks for you." Neo nodded slowly. "You're right, this isn't like before. He's different. I'll tell him today." "Be wise, sis. Trust begins with truth." "I will," Neo whispered, then ended the call. Downstairs, the terrace had been transformed. A white tablecloth spread over the glass table. Delicate ceramic teacups rested beside covered dishes, and fresh flowers bloomed in a slender vase. Jiho stood beside the table, adjusting a linen napkin, his eyes scanning the setup with quiet care. As Neo stepped onto the terrace, Jiho looked up, and for a moment he simply stared. Something about the way the sunlight danced across her skin, the way she tucked her hair behind her ear, sent a warm flutter through his chest. He greeted her with a soft smile. "Good morning?" "Good morning," she replied, sitting down. As the maids discreetly brought out warm pastries, fresh fruit, eggs, and brewed tea, Jiho's phone buzzed. He glanced at it and excused himself momentarily. The screen flashed with an incoming call. Halmayoni. "Halmayoni?" he greeted warmly. "Ah, my handsome boy," his grandmother's joyful voice rang out. "I saw the news. That woman you were with, she's not just beautiful, she looks like a queen. The poise, the way she held herself. I am proud of you. Bring her next weekend, Jiho chuckled. "Yes, Halmayoni, I will. She's special." "I knew it. I knew your heart was still capable of something real. Treat her well." "I will, I promise." When he returned to the table, he found Neo sipping her tea, quietly observing the city skyline beyond the terrace. He watched her for a moment, heart swelling with something he couldn't quite put into words. Every part of his being responded to her. The way she moved, the calm she brought, the strength beneath her quiet. "I spoke to my grandmother," he said, sitting beside her. "She saw the headlines." Neo looked up, a flicker of curiosity in her eyes. "Apparently, we're front-page material," he added dryly, pulling out his phone. He showed her the article. CEO Kang Jiho finds new love after ex's betrayal. Mystery black beauty steals the spotlight. Neo blinked. "Oh my God." He nodded. "It's everywhere. They're talking about Yura's engagement being called off, too. Apparently, the fiancé walked out just before the ceremony. But Yura, she messaged me. Twice." Neo tensed. "I blocked her," Jiho said firmly. "I told her never to contact me again. That there's someone in my life now, someone I want to build something real with, and I meant every word." Neo lowered her eyes for a moment. "Thank you for telling me." Jiho reached for her hand gently. "Neo, I don't want anything unclear between us. I want us to be able to talk, to be honest. I know things just started, but I feel something strong. I want to explore that. With you." Neo's throat tightened. She hesitated, then nodded. "Can I tell you something?" "Anything." "I saw him at the party." Jiho's brow furrowed. "Who?" "Minjun." His eyes darkened slightly. "You're sure?" "Yes, he looked different. But it was him. Yura's brother." Jiho leaned in. "He's Yura's brother?" Neo nodded slowly. "He used fake photos when we were messaging online. Pictures of himself when he was younger, more polished. I had no idea he was connected to you. I deleted the app, but I still have screenshots. I kept them." She pulled out her phone, reopened the saved folder, and handed it to Jiho. He scrolled through the photos. Then his jaw tightened. "He deceived you." "Yes." Jiho was quiet for a moment, then placed her phone down. "Neo, thank you for telling me." She blinked. "I was scared that you'd think I'm messy or careless." Jiho shook his head. "No, that's not what I think. What I think is you've been through a lot, and you still stood strong. I don't care about your past. I care about who you are now. Neo's lips trembled slightly. Her voice lowered. It was the dream. It came from that place. From that fear. Jiho tilted his head. Your nightmare? Was it about Minjun? Neo nodded. He was drowning me in a river. I called for my sister, but she never came. Jiho reached across the table and took her hand. Neo, it was a dream. He can't hurt you anymore. Not while I'm here. You're safe now, with me. Tears welled in Neo's eyes and spilled quietly down her cheeks. She didn't sob, didn't speak, just let the moment wash over her. Jiho rose, walked around the table and gently wiped one of the tears from her cheek. You didn't deserve any of what happened before, he said softly. But maybe you deserve something beautiful now. Neo looked up at him. And what if I'm scared to accept something beautiful? Jiho smiled gently. Then let's accept it one moment at a time. The morning light grew stronger, and for the first time in a long time, Neo felt seen. Not as a broken girl, but as a woman someone wanted to protect, not possess. As Jiho poured her more tea, she smiled faintly. Maybe this time the story could be different. Their breakfast had ended on an emotional but uplifting note. The silver tray still held a few grapes, and the tea had gone cold, but neither of them noticed. For a long moment, they simply looked at each other. Hearts open, a little raw, but safe. Jiho stood up and reached for her hand again. Come, he said softly. There's something else planned for today. I told the maids to prepare everything for it. Neo tilted her head. Something? Jiho only smiled, walking her slowly toward the steps. You'll see. They reached the balcony that overlooked the gardens. Neo leaned on the railing and took a deep breath of the mid-morning air. The scent of roses from the garden below mixed with the breeze, brushing lightly against her skin. Jiho stood behind her, arms folded, admiring her serenity. Today feels different, Neo whispered. Jiho nodded. Because today is the beginning of something real. Before she could respond, the doorbell rang. Jiho frowned. I wasn't expecting anyone. He moved quickly toward the main door. The butler had already reached it and opened cautiously. Standing there was a woman dressed in black office attire, holding a cream envelope and a small silver box. This is from Miss Yura, she said politely. Jiho stopped mid-step. Neo stood halfway down the stairs, watching silently. I'm not accepting anything from her, Jiho said coldly. She insisted. Tell her I said no, and don't come here again without calling first. The woman bowed and left. Jiho stood still for a moment, hand clenched slightly at his side. He turned to the butler. Mr. Kim, have the package sent back, and call Mr. Kwon. Tell him I want tighter security at the gates for the next few days. Yes, sir. Neo descended the last steps and stood beside him. Is everything all right? Jiho turned to her, his face softening instantly. It is now. Later, Jiho walked outside to take a phone call. He leaned against the patio column, shielding his eyes from the sun. Hyung, you finally answered. It was Insu. I've been trying since last night, Insu said. I sent you a message when Yura's fiancé walked out. That party turned into a circus after you two left. Jiho sighed. I turned off my phone last night. I needed some quiet. Well, I figured. But hey, I saw the news this morning. You and Neo are trending. You look good together. Even the headlines are surprisingly sweet. Jiho chuckled. I saw them too. Not how I imagined it, but I don't regret a thing. I figured you wouldn't. Listen, Insu continued. Just be ready. Yura won't let it go easily. She sent flowers to your office. Jiho rubbed his forehead. She sent a package here too. I sent it back.